When people ask me what's a good under $20 wine that I can stock up on that's going to be great with a lot of the meals that I'm cooking like midday during the week. And the answer is always Chianti. I just love Chianti so much. And I love it not only because it is so good with all of the meals that you're probably making on a Tuesday, but also because it's one of these wines that has such a bad rap from, you know what I'm talking about, those red checkered cloth days with it in the basket. Maybe your grandma had it. I don't know. It was a bad situation in a lot of really bad movies, or maybe some good movies, but the wine has gotten so much better. Chianti's bad rap is no more. Chianti is back to where it needs to be, a wonderful, wonderful wine on the table. And this is a wine that I always, always, always have stocked in my house because pasta bolognese is a staple in my home. It is a dish that I make with regularity, and this is the wine that I like to serve with it. So let's talk about this wine. So, of course, this is going to be Chianti. This is DOCG. You know that on the back here it says right here DOCG. So this is a guarantee of quality. Thank you, Italy, for that. But this is also a wine that is going to be made primarily from the Sangiovese grape, which is always what you're going to be finding in Tuscany. So let's smell it. Oh, and this is why I love it so much. So you always get these really big, bright cherries with Sangiovese, but in Tuscany specifically, there's something else there. And it always reminds me of like the seasonings that you would put in your tomato sauce. So oregano, rosemary, a little thyme. There's something really beautiful and herbal and a little bit savory kind of just underneath there that just reminds me so much of Italy. And if you've ever traveled there, you kind of know what I'm talking about when it comes to those smells that sort of waft through the air. Italy and Italian wines, it just expresses themselves in a way that I think is so beautiful and wonderful. And when I smell a wine like this, I'm instantly transported back to Tuscany and those beautiful rolling hills where wines like this are grown. So let's taste it. I mean, if you're someone that loves these sort of tart fruits, a little bit of tannin, so not too much. We're not talking about Cabernet tannin or Syrah tannin. We're talking about tannin that maybe is a little bit more sturdy than something like a Pinot Noir, but it doesn't quite get to the point of something being really, really robust like a Cabernet Sauvignon. So it wants to just kind of sit right in the middle there, but it's giving it structure and it's giving it just a little bit of that framework so that the wine feels big enough and full enough to go with something like a bolognese, but isn't so light that it doesn't feel like it needs food. So this was a wine for me that as I'm drinking it, it just kind of builds in the mouth a little bit. You're going to feel that fruit for sure in the center here. This is a 2023, so it's still quite young. This is not a wine that I think needs age by any means, but it's showing a lot of those really big, beautiful, youthful fruits. But again, because it's Tuscany and because it's giving you a lot of those herbal things, those spicy oregano things, it's kind of bolstered in this really beautiful way that makes it perfect for something like pasta sauce. Sticking my nose in the glass, it continues opening, it continues getting better. And this is a wine that I think if you wanted to decant it, you absolutely could. I'm not usually someone that's big on decanting, but I do think this is a wine that will get really lovely with air. And if you're someone that doesn't love some of that more zippy acidity that's going on initially, it will soften and sort of round out with a little bit of air. So either put it in a decanter or you can just get it in a glass, swirl it around and give it some air and watch it sort of unveil itself in the glass like I am right now. And this is a medium bodied wine. And like I said, the tannins are definitely there, but they're not the main player. They're just there as a supporting character with the fruit and all of the savory things going on, just kind of working together. Again, like you would find in a really great pasta sauce. So do yourself a favor, grab a bottle of this if you haven't done so already, and make yourself some pasta bolognese. And let me know what you think because I think you're going to love it.